So, today I'm going to talk about God shining the light and about relationships and what our perspective could be. So in a relationship with people who could be your family, your friends, your coworkers, anyone is possible to have a relationship with. But God doesn't always mean for you to have a relationship with the people who maybe cross paths with you. Because not everyone is always good for you. For example, when you're in a relationship with a person who is supposed to be someone who protects you and helps you and wants the best for you and sees the best in you and knows your worth, should be like your mother, your family, your husband possibly, your friends. But when you experience some of life's challenges, it starts to change your perspective on how people should act. If everyone thought about how I'm treating that person, is that how God would want me to? Or how that person is treating me? Is that what God would want for me? I think it's an important question because it's really true. God doesn't want you to be surrounded with people who do not have your best interest, who are not really rooting for you. My experience and sharing part of my story, if it can help save one person, then it's worth it. And God said, it is. I had a skewed perspective of what a best friend was. Someone I gave the label to because it was easier to put on a facade of what was really happening in life. When you see people, to not have to live repeatedly through that over and over. So instead of talking about the abuse and being real and allowing people to try to help save you, you pretend. And your perspective is very cloudy. Because when you say that the person is your best friend, God spoke to me and he said, would your best friend beat you up? Would your best friend verbally and mentally and emotionally abuse you? Would your best friend beat your children so badly that they would have bruises and welts on their behinds and backs? Would your best friend lie and deceive you that his father is a rapist? Would your best friend put your children at risk by lying about these serious things? Would your best friend be so severely addicted to cocaine that they would choose the drugs over anything? Would your best friend leave you alone when you get diagnosed with skin cancer? Would your best friend refuse to take you to treatment and surgeries? Would your best friend leave you and tell you to drive yourself when you needed to go to the emergency room from treatment? Would your best friend tell you that you're nothing and that everything that you have is because of them? Would your best friend put you into situations that you didn't ask for and you didn't want and then blame you? Would your best friend hurt you so badly that it made your body heal crooked? Would your best friend do these things? No. No, they wouldn't. God said no. That's not what he wants. That's not a label that that kind of person deserves. Here's another one. Mother. Mother. The label of mom. Would a mother force you to sit down with your older cousin who went to jail for pleading guilty to molesting you your whole life? Would your mother force you to forgive that person at the age of 12 and then hire them for your family business where you would see them every day? Would your mother cover up and lie for her son who is a rapist and a molester? Would your mother tell you that you were a whore because you exposed that your older brother had raped you? And your mother already knew that the brother had raped other people? Would your mother side with your abuser in your attempts to try to escape and break the cycles? Would your mother lie about who you are? Moms deserve the label that God knows the truth on how a mother would support her child. No matter what. No matter what. Here's another one. Cousins. Cousins. Should your cousins get that label of your cousin? Because would your cousin try to control you, try to force you into a not comfortable situation? That situation that is beneficial to her? Would your cousin, a true cousin, do that? I mean, honestly, I'm sure we could say, our cousins have put us into situations that maybe we didn't want or, whatever. That's not the point. I'm talking deeper. Would your cousin try to force you to talk with her brother because he was labeled a pedophile? When you're in a situation of escaping and breaking cycles. And when you refuse to honor her demand, she supports the abuser. And God said, when I prayed and I asked him, why, how is this happening? How? And he answered, your family. Who? Becky. And I don't mean to use people's names, but God said, truth is freedom. When your cousin realized that you were on top of the mountain, attempting to step into the purpose, she knew that was power, because that meant that other victims might feel safe enough to speak out too, which also meant that her brothers could be possibly exposed and the name tarnished. God said that is not the plan. It's not to keep secrets and stay silent. Would your cousin go against you because of the purpose to save other children, to save people in the future from becoming victim? He said they did. That's what they did. They went against you and they lied. And I didn't believe them. I didn't know what to think. How could they do that? And then I started to see the things that were happening. God said, cousins don't do that. People who want to see you winning, not bullying, not trying to control you, and then lie on you. On court documents. God's proof. What I told you, he said. You have to share the story. So my point in this message this morning, in your relationships that you've already established, and be mindful of, new relationships that might come your way in your future. Analyzing all of them. Is this a person God would want around me? Am I a person that God would want to be around others? It's so important to remember who you are. And the truth is the truth. God said, we are all his children, and he loves us unconditionally. Truth, truth,